I think society in general has become more open to and accepting of women's professional sports.
Well, let's just kick it off with this big announcement that we just made live on Daybreak. What is it, and what does this mean for fans?
Well, we are pleased, thrilled, proud, and honored to announce our partnership with KFAA to bring Wings games to North Texas through a local broadcast rights agreement.
What does this mean for the fan experience, and why is it important for folks who want more basketball?
The most important thing, more Wings fans will be able to see Wings games on television than ever before.
This is big because not everyone can always get to a game, and they want to be a part of that fan experience. There is such a buzz and a hype right now. What does that feel like for you to be able to bring this to them?
Well, we're very fortunate. More sports fans are engaged with, aware of, and supporting the Dallas Wings, the WNBA, women's basketball in general than ever before. So our ability to get our games, our content to those fans is very important, and our relationship with KFAA will allow us to do that.
Okay, we're excited as well. This is a big season. I understand the Wings sold out of season ticket memberships in record time. That's huge. So what is driving this fan response? What do you think is behind all of this?
I think it's a combination of things. I think our organization has done a good job over 10 years now of establishing a presence in North Texas. I think the DFW market is the best sports market in America. I think society in general has become more open to and accepting of women's professional sports.
What are you excited about looking ahead into the 2025 season? There are a lot of things, so let's just start with the move. How about that?
Yeah, we've played, this will be year 10 for us at College Park Center on the campus of UTA in Arlington, and the school and the city have been fabulous partners for us. But we've outgrown the venue, which is a great problem to have. We played at 95% capacity a year ago. We anticipate to sell out this year. You mentioned we've sold out season tickets 2 years in a row now. We sold out of our season tickets in November of this year for the summer of 25. So we just need more seats. We need a bigger venue, and to have the opportunity to come into the city of Dallas and play in downtown Dallas as part of a massive decade-long redevelopment of the Convention Center district, we couldn't ask for a bigger, better opportunity.
You know, we're looking back at 10 years, right? This is your 10th anniversary. I would ask you, where do you see yourself in another 10 years? But I have a feeling that if you were to go back in time, this kind of, excitement and concept you would be hoped for, but maybe not on the map. What do you think is going to happen in the next decade?
Yeah, I've been involved with the WNBA since 2007, and I'm as big a believer as you will find. But I would be lying if I told you that with all of the dreams and aspirations we had organizationally, that we would be where we are today. So you're right, it is virtually impossible for me to articulate or crystallize where we're going to be a decade from now, but I know we'll be in a great place, and it'll be bigger and better than it is today, because today is bigger and better than it was yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds cliche, but the sky is the limit really speaks volumes when it comes to what's going on with you all.
And we're the Wings, so
yeah.
If you want to fly, we're perfect.
Man, I love how you tied it all together. Okay, so there have been some bold moves that have been made, some different changes, front office, different things like that. Can you speak to that and why some of those changes and what you're excited about then moving forward?
Yeah, we had been building on the basketball side of the business for a number of years. The 2023 season, the summer before last, we were a semifinalist, a top 4 team in the league. Last year, the train got off the tracks a little bit. So we decided to make some changes. Very fortunate, we brought in Kurt Miller as our Executive Vice President of Basketball Operations and General Manager. He's a proven winner in our league as a coach and as an executive. And Kurt hired Chris Koklanis as our new head coach, one of the youngest, brightest minds in all of basketball. Forget women's basketball, all of basketball. So we have a tremendous amount of talent now leading our basketball operations.
So you've given a little bit of insight for fans about them and about what it is that you saw in them that made you want to bring them in. What else can you tell us about them that you think that is going to resonate with people?
Well, when you look at our basketball team, we still have Arike Ngumbawale, who, for my money, is the biggest, brightest star in the entire league, the most exciting player to watch. So even if you're not a basketball fan, but you can appreciate someone doing something at a very elite level, you should come to College Park this summer and watch Arike Ngumbawale apply her craft. After Arike, we have a talented roster of very young but winning players. And then on top of all of that, we have the #1 pick in the upcoming draft.
Yeah, can you talk a little bit about that? I know that we were discussing it on Daybreak this morning, and there's a few names that are on the short list, at least, that people are speculating about.
Yeah, I would say that's a very short list, but of course, with the ongoing NCAA season, we can't have any kind of specific conversation. But if you follow women's college basketball, you can probably make a guess of who we're interested in, and that guess would probably be right.
Are you prioritizing anything in particular? Can you speak to that?
Good basketball players.
Okay, okay, I'll give you that. So we've got the WNBA continuing to grow, the Dallas Wings organization continuing to grow, bringing new fans in. What is it when it comes to this experience when people come out to the first game in May? What can their expectations be, sitting in the seats?
You know, I say it's the greatest value proposition in all of sports. College Park Center is 6,251 seats. There's not a bad seat in the venue. You are going to be up close and personal with the action. The WNBA is 13 teams with no more than 12 players per roster. So in round numbers, you're talking about 150 players. It is the hardest, most exclusive league to play in the world. Think about all the women who play professional basketball around the world. Their aspiration is to play in the WNBA, and there's 150 jobs. So think about anything in life. If you can go and spend $40, $50 and be up close and personal with someone who is one of the top 150 people in the world doing that thing, that's money well spent.
That's the first time I've heard someone put it that way, because I think you have a lot of people who are hearing about the WNBA, as we've talked about, maybe they're first-time fans, only in the last couple of seasons perhaps. Maybe only this past year when they hear the name Caitlin Clark, right? That's shifted things as well. When you put it like that, are people surprised when you explain to them just exactly what kind of elite people they're watching?
I think so. I think people obviously realize these are world-class athletes. Right. They're also tremendous people. Great community ambassadors and great ambassadors for the Wings brand. But in terms of the basketball, people recognize that they're world-class athletes. But I don't think a lot of folks stop and do the math and say, oh wait, there's 150 jobs in this league. That means if you want to play in the WNBA, you have to be one of the best 150 people on the planet to play in the WNBA. So it's extraordinarily concentrated in terms of the talent. That equates to every team is a good team, and the difference between the best team in the league and the worst team in the league, the margin is razor thin, which creates compelling basketball.
Now, compelling basketball in the actual seat, but how does that translate on TV? Obviously, talking about our big partnership with KFAA.
Yeah, for my money, basketball is the best television sport that there is. And our game is a little bit shorter of a window than the NBA game. We play 10-minute quarters, so 40 minutes of play. So it's a 2-hour in and out broadcast, and it is nonstop from tip to final buzzer. So, our free agency window essentially just closed. So we are transitioning out of our free agency focus and work and signing experienced veteran players in our league to draft prep. So our basketball folks are spending a lot of time right now on the road scouting collegiate games up until we get to the Final Four, which is in early April, and then immediately following the Final Four, our draft takes place on April 14th. So it is from now until the start of the season a sprint, because April 14th is the draft, April 27th camp starts, May 16th is the first game of the season. So we have a fairly long off season, and the first half of that off season seems a little long and slow. But once you hit February 1 and free agency opens, you go free agency, you go draft, you go training camp, and boom, you're into the season. So we're in that window now where things really start to accelerate. Yeah, and as much as we'd love to have everyone come and be with us, and I think there's no substitute for that experience, people have busy lives, and it's hard to get to College Park Center, especially for a weeknight game, and sometimes we don't have any seats for sale, which is a great problem to have. But having a partner like KFAA which will deliver a high quality, great production that people will be able to see in many different ways, again, will allow our brand to get into the homes of more people than ever before.